2-0. 2-0. We beat the 49ers. We shocked the world. Second year in a row, we shocked a lot of people. Boy, we got us a football team this year. The one season I go into a Viking season just kind of assuming the worst, like assuming we're not going to be much of anything, and we got us a football team because we did not. The Vikings did not play anything close to an A-plus game today. And I thought they had an only chance. I picked them to lose a competitive game. I thought the only way they could win this game, because obviously the 49ers, again, a very popular pick to win the Super Bowl, certainly a popular pick to win the NFC. They blew the crap out of the Jets last week. Now, granted, they did have the whole thing where, this used to be a big thing. I don't think it's as much of a thing anymore where, like, you go on Monday night and then your short week on the road. That tends to be an issue. It hasn't been an issue as much in recent years, it seems like. But, so we had a slight advantage there. But, this was... I really thought the only way where the Vikings were going to win this game is if they played close to a perfect game, and they did not play anything close to a perfect game. If they had played a perfect game, they might have won this game by a couple, 3-4 touchdowns, because they were the best team. They were the better team, but they let it be close by making a lot of unforced errors. Obviously the highlight play, everybody will be. I've watched 3 for myself already multiple times. I'll be watching it until I'm an old man. The 97-yard pass from Darnold to Jefferson. Absolutely incredible play. Our second 99-yard touchdown drive of the year. This one a little quicker than the last one. I don't know if I've ever seen a play like that, like a touchdown pass that long, where the pass and the run after catch were both so impressive, because that ball was chucked up like about 50 yards in the air. Just fabulous play. Jefferson had beat the 2 guys deep, and then the run after the catch and the great pivot by JJ. At where was he at, like the 30 or something, and then nice job Jalen Naylor getting down there to block for him to help him get that last 10 or 15 yards there. Incredible play. I mean, absolutely incredible play. That had the US Bank Stadium buzzing like I haven't heard anything buzzing in a while, because it came right after the goal line stand. Then they showed the flashback game highlight, thing that they do. Flashback game. They showed the Brett Favre, Greg Lewis game, so they show that highlight with the PA call, and then the Jefferson play, like back to back to back. It was just awesome. And that was just incredible play. I think they made it. What was that? They made it 10-0 or something. And because early on it was kind of a little back and forth with like just some defense, and first big play of the game was the block punt. CJ Hambone burst through there, blocked the punt. We only got the 3. We were lucky to get the 3 because Darnold almost threw a pick in the end zone. I'm not gonna complain about Sam Darnold. He's already exceeding expectations for pretty much everybody. But we did get a little bit of the Sam Darnold roller coaster. I don't know if 17 games of this is going to leave me with much hair. I don't have much left anyway, but I ain't going to have much left if 17 more games of this, because we're lucky Darnold didn't throw about 3 picks in that game. He had a couple in the first half that were pretty damn risky. But he made good plays too. He made he threw the pick in the first half. I think it was when it was 10-0. They're driving. It looks like they're going to score again. They'd ripped off a couple runs. I think that was when he had a good Ty Chandler run. And then he throws, it required a pretty good play by, I think it was Warner, but, it was still, a bad throw and a bad spot to do it, because they weren't quite in the red zone, but it was picked off in the red zone. So, we were going to get points there. And then the 49ers drove down and scored the first touchdown. I was like, oh my God, we had all the momentum. We were about to go up, 13-0 or 17-0, and we just let them back in it. But he had the thing I saw with Darnold in this one is the bounce back. He did a good job bouncing back from something bad, because they got a field goal drive in there right before the half. He had to hit a third down play. I think it was to JJ again for a good gain to kind of get to get that drive going. And he bounced back pretty well. I mean, that was work. Then obviously, we don't score at the start of the third quarter, and I'm like, oh god, I hate it. It just drives me nuts when we have those opportunities to do that, like the double dip. You get the last drive of the first half, first drive of the third quarter, and we don't capitalize. We only got 3 points out of those 2 drives. I thought, oh god, that's gonna just absolutely fucking kill us. But it didn't, because the other story of this game is definitely the defense. Brian Flores' defense with these new additions, it is for real. I don't know how many sacks we ended up with today. They didn't have much pass rush early, like Purdy. Like 49ers were not coming out to run today. They were coming out to throw, and they were throwing a lot early. And they were getting a lot of plays, because we weren't really pressuring Purdy very much. But eventually that started to break through. We started to rattle him a little bit, started to force him to make some mistakes. And obviously the big one in the first half was the goal line stand. Like the goal line stands don't happen. Like it's just a very rare thing. If you give a team 4 cracks within the 10, if they take all 4 cracks, most of the time they're going to score. But we got him. It was at the 1, 4th and goal. Van Ginkel, what a fucking addition he has been so far. He had a sack today, and then the biggest play was that on the 4th and goal, he tipped the pass from Purdy. It's the old just throw your arms up. If you can't get to the quarterback, throw your arms up in the air. Maybe you'll tip a pass. And that might have been a touchdown. Hard to say if he doesn't tip the pass, but it may have prevented a touchdown. So that was just huge. And then we get obviously the bomb touchdown. We never lost. The Vikings never lost control of this. There were points where they made mistakes. They let the 49ers back in. There was the unforced errors in that first half. They were offsides on 2 straight plays for no reason whatsoever. It really felt like we were up 13-7 at the half. It was like, it should have been more. We're playing way better than even 13-7. But this, they didn't let any of the mistakes kind of snowball on them, because then, I think it was still third quarter. We get the multi-tip pass picked off of Purdy by Metellus, and then they just go for the jugular right away. Darnold to Naylor, 20-7. All right, we're in complete control again. We get the ball again. Then we turned them over on downs the next one, because it was around midfield. They went for another 4th down. We stopped them, and they had I think a penalty anyway, so they wouldn't have converted. But and then it looks like okay, we're about to just completely blow these guys off the field. Aaron Jones catches a pass. He's sprinting towards the end zone. The 1 yard line, he gets the ball punched out, and it's recovered. And it's recovered at the 1. And it was just like you're a yard away from basically clinching the game, because they weren't going to score 3 touchdowns on you. And then we give up a 99-yard drive. It's the NFL season of the 99-yard drive. I think it was the Cardinals or someone already had one today. It's just the season of the 99-yard drive. We've had 2. We hadn't had one in 16 years until last week, and now we've had them two straight weeks, and now we gave one up. A little bit of assistance from the refs on that. I mean, there was a roughing the passer. I don't remember who it was on. It was kind of an iffy call. I mean, he kind of brought the guy down to the ground. He probably didn't need to do that, but I don't know. And then there was the play on the sidelines where I forget who it was toe tapping. The heel was out of bounds. KOC challenged it, and they said, "Oh no, it's still a catch." You just can't trust that system, the play system. And then they score. They get the touchdown run. It's 2014. You're like, oh god damn it! We could have been up. We could have easily put over 30 on these guys. And here we are in a dogfight in the fourth quarter because, well, it's the Vikings, and we know what they like to do as far as one-score games. We've certainly learned that over the years. But then they had a really good drive again. Like they bounced. This wasn't a Darnold mistake you're bouncing back from, but it's a team mistake. And they had a real nice game managing drive. I think it was over 6 minutes off the clock. They hit that really, really great kind of big third and long pass to Naylor, because they weren't in field goal range yet at that point. Big third and long pass to Naylor, where he kind of came back for the ball and kind of caught it in his basket, made a little basket catch. That was a huge play. That might have been the play of the game right there. We're getting healthy Jalen Naylor, and man, he is really contributing. Because we didn't have Addison today, but you didn't miss him. I think it was the touchdown that Naylor got. It was the first time the whole game I was like, oh yeah, Jordan Addison's not playing. But the biggest Naylor catch was that one on that last drive. Because if you have to punt there, because they weren't in field goal range yet, and it was third and long, so if you don't convert that, you're going to punt. You're going to be giving them the ball back with a lot of time left. But you didn't have to worry about it. Then they were able to burn. And they kept at it. They didn't just get in field goal range and then just sit on it. They picked up a couple more first downs. They had a couple nice runs. And I was sweating the field goal. I was like, oh boy, this is the first truly really important Will Reichard field goal attempt of his career. But it was a short one. I mean, it was 30 yards or something, and he hit it, and that was basically the game. I mean, we did give up the last score, which ended up just being a field goal. Then but we didn't let him score before the 2, which was I was just like, oh, don't let him score before the 2, because if you get the onside kick, you can just kneel it all out, because they didn't have any timeouts left. And I think we got a sack or something on the third down play where they were in the red zone. So so then they had to basically take the field goal try there. And we got the onside kick, and that was it. And we're 2-0. And I just love that this team already has reached the point where they're capable of playing a non-A game and beating a really, really good team. Almost by the same, I don't even know, I think it might be almost the same score as last year's 49er game. Which was another one where it's like we're big underdogs, and we pull it out. That game was a little more offensive. I think this one was a little more on the defense, really. Because I mean, you get a goal line stand, you get a turnover on downs, you get a couple turnovers. That's big time. And I didn't see it coming. I didn't see this team going 2-0. I thought they went last week, and after that I was like, after the impressive performance last week, even though it was against the Giants, I was like, well, maybe we can get one of these next 2 home games, and I'll be good. Well, we got one of them, and maybe we can beat Houston next week. I mean, you gotta think we can. I mean, if we could play defense like this against a really diverse 49er team, and I know there'll probably be people saying, well, they didn't have Christian McCaffrey, so it doesn't count. Well, we didn't have Jordan Addison, and we didn't have Justin Jefferson for a lot of the fourth quarter. He got hurt on, I think it was right before the Jones fumble. He got hurt on a running play, and said after it's just a contusion. It's not anything serious. Don't know if he'll play next week, but at least it's nothing like last year where it should be anything that he misses like a whole bunch of games, because that would be a fucking nightmare. I was just like, oh, we're having this game. It'd be so classic Vikings to have that happen. It'd be like last year when we were beating up the Packers in Lambeau on our way to winning our third straight, and Kirk's Achilles explodes. It's like we can't feel good for 5 minutes. I think we'll be good with JJ, whether he plays next week or not. I mean, I mean, if he can play, you play him, because you're going to need all hands on deck to beat the Texans. They play tonight. They play the Bears. We need the Texans to win, so we'll stay all alone in first place for the week, because the Detroit Lions lost. And they barely beat the Rams week 1, who last I saw were getting their asses kicked by the Cardinals. So the division is there. Like, I would not have thought this would be possible 8 days ago, that we could actually be looking at something after 2 weeks and thinking, yeah, this could actually be something. You know, I thought the ceiling for this team would be at best maybe a wild card. I think certainly you have to think that they're a playoff contender now. I mean, like a strong playoff contender. And yeah, maybe they can do something in the division. Maybe they can win the division. You know, the Lions are mortal. The Packers won. They did beat the Colts. Very disappointed in the Colts. I thought the Colts would go in there and win, but you know, they didn't do much with their quarterback, but they won anyway. Hey, no point in worrying about these other teams right now. Let's worry about us. We're doing good. 2-0. Like, really impressive win. Really impressive win over a good team. I don't think this means that the 49ers are bad. I think this is just, we're good, and we can beat a really good team. Like, I don't think there's a team on the schedule we have left that's better than the 49ers. The Lions are not better than the 49ers. Packers without Jordan Love are not better than the 49ers. You know, I came in thinking 7-10 to this season. I mean, I gotta think we can do better than that now. Yeah, I think this is really impressive. The defense, the way it's gelling already. A lot of these new guys, Van Ginkel has just been an absolute amazing find. You know, there's still some holes in the secondary. Like, if we don't get pass rush, you know, you can get picked apart. But that's every team. Like, you can get picked apart by any decent or good quarterback. But we did rattle Purdy a little bit there at the end, you know, and forced some mistakes, which is what you got to do. And you know, we got a little more of the bad Darnold today, but we also had some of the good Darnold, and I was really impressed with how he kind of, you know, managed those couple of drives following turnovers, because that really, you know, that's where your games get away from you. You have a turnover, you make a mistake, and then things kind of snowball and things get worse and worse. But that didn't happen, and that's a credit to Darnold, it's a credit to the coaches, credit to the run game. They ran for like 150 yards total. Chandler was actually the lead runner. He got about 85. Jones only had about 30-something, and he caught a couple passes too. And JJ passed 6,000 yards for his career. Injury doesn't sound too bad. That could have really been just a buzzkill on this game, but I think we could just feel good about it. You know, we'll see during the week. You know, and maybe we'll get Addison back for next week too. If we can have Addison, Naylor's emerging. Maybe we can have our new 3 deep. And we still got Hawkinson waiting in the wings. He ain't gonna. He's still lurking. He'll be back sometime probably in October. I don't even know if we had a tight end catch a pass today. But we didn't need it. We ran the ball well. Good, mostly more good Darnold than bad Darnold. Huge play, good solid defense, special teams making a couple impact plays. We almost got a muff punt recovery too at one point. Although I think then we got the one interception, or I guess it was ruled a fumble, but it was right after that. So, all right, I'm almost home. We're 2-0, man. This is great. I love this. I love what I'm seeing. And I hope to see more of it next week against Houston. And then we got Green Bay, and, you know, let's go from there. Like, if we can beat the 49ers, not playing our A game, we can beat any team in the NFL, and I am excited.